see and hear me well. While I do that, if you happen to be watching this in the month of July, that means you are not a light keeper. And I'm sorry if I sound annoyed while I'm saying this, but like every month when at least since I've been doing these on membership only, there's always one or two people in the comments who are like, it's a late, it's July. Baby, I know. And you're only commenting because you fast forwarded, and that's fine. That's why I created chapters. And when I say you, Virgo, I know it's usually not in Virgo because why? Because you guys fucking pay attention. But please do me a favor. And if you see those people in the comments, these are late, baby, that's because you're not on membership. And I transitioned my forecast to membership several months ago. So please don't be in my comments talking about this is late. Like I'm a fucking idiot and don't know what day it is. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, people are always like, you know it's June 1st, right? Yes, I do know it's June 1st. Do you know that you're not paying for my membership? And I make it very clear at the beginning of each video, but I'm certain that the people commenting are not watching that intro. They're automatically skipping through to see what the forecast is because I have it chaptered out. And again, that's fine, but I need you to use some context clues. Like, I just don't think that if I came across a creator's video, oh, this looks really good, Virgo. This is great, actually. If I came across a creator's video and I realize it's June 1st, but I'm seeing content for May, I'd wonder, why am I seeing content for May? Why am I getting a notification for this? I would try to figure out why. Because surely they can't be that stupid. Whatever, what do I know? I don't even think that there's a way that I need to make it more clear. I don't want to have to broadcast in big, bold red letters. I know that you're like, because the whole point of this is to provide content, quality, in-depth content and readings to people who I know want to pay for it. Period. So maybe, let me just shut the fuck up. Maybe not be irritated about people who just want free content. I don't know. Okay, let's just get your oracle message and then we're going to begin. For Virgo. Please make sure you're watching this on the highest quality, Virgo, because I am live streaming this month. So I just want to make sure you can hear and see everything well. And I know I'm cutting corners with the editing this month, but it is what it is. Okay, I don't know what card it is. I like when I don't know what card it is. I'm just putting that over there. Let's jump in. If you don't know how this goes, please refer to May, the previous month, to see how I normally format this. But otherwise, it's going to make sense. We're going to get into 3 different readings: monthly forecast, love and relationships, career and finances. Anything that you want to know about me, any thing you want to do or work with me privately, all of that's going to be in the description below. Okay, let's get into this. Page of Swords is here for current self. So at the beginning of June, you're feeling very inquisitive, feeling like you're ready to learn something, maybe even eager to share about what you're learning, communicate as you're learning. The Page of Swords like to gather a lot of information. They like to seek and find out information. They're the researcher, maybe more like research assistant. Okay. You're gathering information at the top of June. Likely because you're trying to figure out how you want to move for the month of June. Likely because you're trying to figure out how you want to move. It does represent the air signs Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Theme of the month is the Empress. Love to see that here. Lovely card. Empress is living and seated in your luxury, divine, feminine energy. You're very receptive. You're in your yin energy, right? This is beauty, art. Well, I started to say beauty, art, culture, but that's a little bit more Knight of Cups. But still, the Empress does represent beauty and luxury and also motherhood. Very importantly, motherhood. Maybe you are a mother yourself. Maybe you're focused on your motherhood this month. Okay. Maybe focus on being a better mother. separate from motherhood, you could be focused on wanting to grow a new idea that you'd like to birth a new idea, birthing something new is oftentimes the message of the Empress as well. This can also just be a month where you want to nurture yourself as well. That could be the other message. Okay. Key goal to pursue is Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups has quite a lot of different definitions. This could be about pursuing a dream, considering your options, as we already know you're in this researcher energy, pursuing all of the options available to you, investigating your options. Seven of Cups is also like dreaming. It's sometimes describing head in the cloud of energy, but I don't really think that's what's happening here. I think this is more about you, I wanted to say verifying, vetting. That's what I want to say. You're vetting your options this month as you already are researching. There's something, like imagine if you are in this kind of like birthing something new energy, Virgo. You're vetting your options and how you want to go about it. Consider like you're vetting lawyers, you're vetting properties, you're vetting assistants, like that sort of thing. You're vetting like options of some sort. That's what the message is saying to me. That you need to pursue. I think you're already, I don't even think I need to tell you to do that because I think you're already doing that. Obstacle to overcome is the Magician. The Magician could represent two things here. This could represent someone who is manipulative. Sometimes the Magician does represent someone who wants to use and abuse, maybe not use and abuse, but someone who wants to manipulate you, gaslight you in some way. The Magician is also very similar to the Seven of Cups in terms of wanting to manifest. But more so, it's like the ability to create. And I think really, yes, sure, the someone who can be manipulative is a message here, but also I think this more so points towards you, Virgo, of being able to believe that you can create what you want. You're exploring all your options, but I think you need to believe that it's possible. I'm not quite seeing a lot of doubt, which is great, but I am sensing concern. Does that make sense? Because you want to be, you're a practical sign. You want to be practical. You don't want to be someone who has their head in the clouds. You want to kind of keep one foot on the ground. But sometimes we have to lean into taking a leap of faith. We have to lean into just trusting the process and believing it's going to work out even if we don't know anyway. The Magician also points towards like having all of the things, because you know I don't use reversals in the Street Priestess Tarot. So it could be about having the wands, the ace, the wands, the swords, the pentacles, the cups, and needing to use them all together to call in your desire. I kind of like it in the, I like it in this deck. Let's see if I can find it quickly. This was my first tarot deck. I don't really use it for, you know, these readings. I just use it for myself. So kind of like this. She's using what she has available to create her ideal reality. This deck is a little bit more creative, a little bit more artsy. Anyway. So Virgo, believing that you can create, believing that you can make it happen, I think is what you need to overcome. Major accomplishment is the Seven of Pentacles. And this is about planting your seeds and letting them grow. Doing the hard work, being consistent, being patient as well. You've planted the seeds, now you're just waiting for them to harvest. Sometimes the hard work is just planting the seeds. Kind of going back to as well, the Empress birthing something new. You know, when we think of quite literal procreation, the seed has to be planted and we got to wait 9 months for this baby to grow, right? But with the Seven of Pentacles here of like waiting, I'm showing you like all the different cards from these other decks in case you've never seen them. This is the original tarot deck, but I have it in rose gold because obviously, and also I didn't want to support a non-diverse tarot. The original deck is not very diverse, and I just couldn't support that. So this deck is a little harder to shuffle. Hold on, it's important here. You're gonna be like, Whitney, by this time I could have Googled the Seven of Pentacles. This is true. Here goes the Magician, the original Magician. You see how he's got the wands, the swords, the pentacles. Anyway. Seven of Wands, not what I wanted. Oh, the Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords. All the sevens except the seven I'm looking for. And watch, I passed it. Watch, I had passed it. I hate when I do that. Oh, here we go, here we go. Okay, look. See how he planted his seeds and now he's just waiting? That's this energy here. But just obviously modernized. Planted your seeds and you're just tending to it, tending to your garden. I think that is a really big accomplishment, because you might be sitting here and be like, Whitney, that's not a big accomplishment. Yes, the fuck it is. To have done the hard work of like pruning and clipping and cutting, and like I'm propagating some plants right now because I've got this plant behind me. I wanted to make sure I put some plants back on my altar. I have some plants on my steps. I have some plants in my kitchen. I call them, it's a support group. It's like plants that I'm trying to revive. So I put them together so that they have support. And there's a few plants that I'm trying to propagate and get roots growing. And that you could, some people might just say, set it and forget it, just put it in the water, leave it alone. You really do need to watch it. And like, I need to be mindful, like changing out the water, make sure the water's not getting dirty. I need to make sure that it's getting a little bit enough sunlight, but not too much, and that it's feeling good. And like taking care of peeling off any dead leaves or whatever. That takes work to like make sure that I'm creating an environment for this plant to successfully grow roots. And it may not seem, it's not a ton of work, but it's, you know, I'm wanting it to be in a good position so that when I am ready to transfer the plant to a pot, I know it will thrive. I know it will survive. So that's what I'm saying. Like whatever you're building right now, I hope this analogy is connecting with you, Virgo. It takes work. Okay. And that's a huge accomplishment by the end of June, whatever foundation you're building. Okay. Huge. You may not see the fruits of your labor quite yet, although I think that you will see some payout, but it will be worth it. Anyway, let's keep going. What to avoid, Ace of Wands. This is interesting. This can manifest in a couple ways. I'm interested to see what comes up in your career and love reading. The Ace of Wands typically represents a new passion, a new spark. This could be, again, maybe if it were reversed, an energy of like to avoid burnout, perhaps. But typically the Ace of Wands usually represents a spark. I'm sensing and feeling, Virgo, that you don't necessarily need to pursue new ideas at this time. You might, you know, in your whole vetting process and like seeing what options you want to consider and pursue, you might get carried away. Oh, I could do this and I could do that and I could do this and I could do that. I feel like Spirit's kind of like, whoa, baby girl, focus on what's in front of you. Focus on what's in front of you. Because the Ace of Wands, like it's a spark. You're like, oh, this could be something. And that could be manifest in the form of a relationship, an idea, a personal project or whatever. I really feel like you need to not get distracted. Don't get distracted by something shiny, by something new. Because a spark can go out just like that, right? You ever try to light a lighter and that shit keep going out? That should be so mad, so annoying. You have flame for a second, it blows out. You know, it could go out just like that. So try not to get distracted just because you can. What to embrace is the Wheel of Fortune, which I love to see here. Good luck, good fortune, good karma. Maybe a windfall coming your way. A stroke of luck is coming your way. Let that be confirmation, Virgo. Love to see that. I just really don't need to say anything else. This is divine timing. It's time. It's the right time. Where to find support? 9 of Cups. A wish fulfillment is coming through. Like your emotional happiness will be tended to this month. And then lastly, advice and encouragement is 10 of Pentacles. So if nothing else, Virgo, yeah, you're vetting a lot of options. You're considering all the things in front of you. The Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, for me alone, especially with your theme of the month being the Empress, It's going to be a great month for you. June is going to be a lovely month for you. You're going to end the month feeling very satisfied with whatever has come your way, whatever stroke of luck comes into your life. And I think you'll be glad that you took the time to do your research in whatever way this manifests. This could be about a person, could be about a client you want to work with. I don't know how this is manifesting for you. You know, like I said, there's so many ways this could manifest for you, but I think you're going to be happy, even though you've got divine luck and divine help coming through. I think you're really still going to be happy that you took the time to do your research, because let me, I guess, provide an example. Like, let's say you're house hunting and you are looking at all these houses and you're trying to see which one you want to put an offer in on, right? And you're doing all the research. You're trying to get yourself familiar and comfortable with like the home buying process. Then all of a sudden, somebody knows somebody who's selling a house that's like the perfect house for you. And then they're saying, okay, it's boom, 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 boom. These are the terms. This is how they want to sell it. They only want an all cash offer. They want it financed in this way. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really know the home buying process, but just fuck with me here. And they say, and you're like, okay, great. But you wouldn't have been comfortable to accept those terms that they're requesting had you not already been doing the research with other properties. Does that make sense? Let me give a less confusing example. It's really, what I'm really describing is, Virgo, it's when preparation meets opportunity. It really is all it is. It's really all it is. It's when preparation meets opportunity. Even if you're dating, you're working on yourself, you're doing the self-work, you're working on your flaws, you're working on becoming a better person, You're trying to consider your options on like maybe what type of partner you think you might be compatible with. And then all of a sudden somebody pops into your life and it's just right because you did the work. You did the research on how you can be better. And because you did the research and you did the work, now you can show up as a quality partner because you did the work. It really just feels like preparation meets opportunity this month. Do I want to confirm? I don't really feel like I need to confirm anything in your reading. I want to consider let's clarify what to avoid. Clarify that Ace of Wands for me. The Hangman, yeah. Getting caught up as well on an idea. Getting stuck on an idea, stuck on something that you think is viable. If something's taking too long or longer than you feel like it should to come through or come together, move on, Virgo. Don't waste too much time on it. Clarify the Magician, obstacle to overcome. Six of Swords, we've got transition, a turning point. A turning point. There's going to be a turning point that maybe you manifest by accident. I don't know why it would be in the position of obstacle to overcome. Six of Swords is transition, turning towards healing. But it does feel like maybe you're manifesting something bittersweet. Clarify obstacle to overcome for Virgo. Hermit, your energy here. This is about you. You are making a change. You are making a personal change. I'm also feeling and sensing, Virgo, that you're like something may be coming in sooner than you thought. And I was just meditating on the Six of Swords earlier today. Something may be coming in sooner than you thought, Virgo. And it's in this position of obstacle to overcome because you're like, oh shit, I wasn't actually ready for this to happen this month. You know what I mean? So let's say this happened to me, actually. And I have to actually post content on this because I have so much content on my phone that I need to upload to my YouTube. I have been like really struggling for a really long time about my car because I owned my car. I'm going to try not to make this too long. I was going back and forth of whether or not I need to look into getting a new car or just get it fixed because I own it. I don't have a car note. I like that I didn't have a car note. But finally just got to a point where like it needed The repairs that it needed were just so great that I really had to really look at, is it worth pouring more money into this car that might need even more repairs a couple months from now, or just getting a new car? It was a very annoying process at the beginning of May, but finally I was just like, I gotta get a new car. I gotta get a new car. I was not ready for that. I was not prepared. Nothing in my mind was telling me, like, if you had asked me in April, I'd have been like, I'm actually gonna drive this car until the wheels fall off. But guess what? They did. So when I was actually faced with, oh shit, like the wheels weren't quite literally falling off, but like all of my rims were bent again, and I'm like, I am not paying a third time to have a new set of rims put on this car or them straightened or whatever. I'm not doing it. On top of, I think I needed 2 tires as well. I was like, I'm so done with the wheels on that vehicle. That could be a whole tangent in itself. So I would just decide, like, it's time. So the obstacle to overcome, Virgo, with you here with the Hermit card, something you've been manifesting, you may finally need to embrace. Don't resist the change. So why am I sharing this? Because, yeah, of course, who doesn't want a new car? But I didn't expect that to happen last month. As a sidekick as I am, I did know that in May, there was something that was going to make me very happy. And there are few things pointing in my financial reading that pointed towards something positive happening. I just didn't think it would be in relation to my car. Just didn't think. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, life gets to be surprising for me still too. All right, I don't think I need to describe anything else. I want to keep moving. Let's clarify major accomplishment, the 7 of Pentacles here, and then we'll move on. King of Pentacles and 6 of Wands. Look, again, something you've been investing time and energy it's still going to grow, but also you're going to get a quick win. So there's going to be something to celebrate by the end of the month, Virgo. There's going to be something to celebrate. I think it is going to be in the form of a monetary gain. But it is something that is going to be that either you've been working on or working towards for a while. Maybe this is about you reaping your harvest. I don't think that it is. I think it's kind of like that thing where, like, let's say you've been a farmer for years. All the analogies. I'm going to stop with all the analogies in just a minute. Let's say you've been a farmer for years and, like, you finally get your first harvest and are proven that the land is viable or fertile or whatever. You get your first tomatoes and you're so excited. That's this right here, right? But now you know and have proven, okay, now I can grow more. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Okay, let's move on. I love this for you, Virgo. Wow. Wowzers. I don't know why I'm sneezing all of a sudden. I'm sorry. Should have brought up more soda. Okay, let's move on to your love and relationships. I have like a swig left. I meant to Google if like lemon pulp can it go bad. Lemon pulp, what's often more about a decreased quality rather than complete spoilage. Here's how to tell. Freshly squeezed lemon juice, including the pulp, can start to lose its freshness and vibrant flavor within a couple of weeks, especially if stored unrefrigerated. Look for signs like mold, off smells, cloudy or strange textures, or more sour than usual taste. I'm going to tell you why I'm reading this in a second. While the juice's acidity helps slow down microbial health, it's still possible for spoilage to occur, especially if the pulp is left exposed or if stored in conditions that aren't ideal. Hold on, let me go back. In a syrup. I just made it, especially if it's not stored properly, not made with a high. The shelf life of syrup, including, is influenced. I guess I have to put this in this fridge. So basically, I made a syrup. I don't know if you guys have seen my video. I bought a soda stream finally because you guys know how much seltzer I drink. And I've been working at a coffee shop, so I learned how to like make syrups, which is probably something I would have never done if I didn't start working here. Because they make all their syrups in-house. So they make their own caramel, they make their own vanilla, well, you know, all that stuff. So I decided I wanted to make a syrup to go with my seltzer because I didn't really like the idea of needing to buy a bunch of syrups for my seltzer. I didn't like that idea. Because, you know, you buy the soda stream and then now you have to suddenly buy fucking lemon whatever syrup now. Raspberry whatever from Bubbly now. And anyway, I made a syrup. I made a cucumber, mint, and lemon syrup. But I put freshly squeezed lemon in it. And I actually just put it in a bottle. I just put it in a liqueur bottle that was empty. And I'm leaving it out. But I'm nervous that the lemon pulp would go bad. So now I'm thinking I need to store that syrup in the fridge. So that's why I was looking that up. Sorry that you had to experience that with me live. But now you know. Let's look at what you have for Virgo. Okay. I don't really know what to make of this quite yet, Virgo. All right. You're the master of your own life. You do whichever you want, okay? Now, when I look at this, we've got the Eight of Swords reverse and the Queen of Swords reverse. If this doesn't resonate, let it wash over you. I'm going to try to interpret this for people going through multiple situations, okay? Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, okay? She's very perceptive, very smart. When it's reversed, she's a cold-hearted bitch. She's through with everybody and everyone and all their shit. She doesn't have patience. She doesn't have time. Eight of Swords reverse, not quite as bad. Eight of Swords is being stuck in your head. You're confused. You don't know. You're feeling a lot of negative self-doubt. When it's reversed, you're coming out of that. So there's almost this energy kind of somebody taking their power back, in my opinion. You're finally getting out of your head regarding a situation in your love life, but you're also like done with people's shit. In your love life specifically. So it's just like, imagine somebody who's felt maybe unvalued or maybe unappreciated for a very long time. And they finally kind of wake up and be like, why have I been settling for this? Fuck all y'all, I'm out. That's kind of that energy. That's kind of that. That's kind of that energy here, which I'm not mad at. My Leo sun supports this energy, okay? That's what you know and are anticipating at the beginning of June. Sick of everybody's shit, not settling, not giving anybody any grace, because in your opinion, you've given a lot of grace. Unexpected. King of Swords reversed, Six of Wands reversed. Now, Six of Swords, again, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, someone very smart, someone very intellectual. Six of Wands, victory, success, achievement. When it is reversed, it feels as though you are not receiving the attention or recognition that you would like, either from an air sign or somebody who is very smart, or somebody who tends to be very cutthroat with their words. So in short, you might have a falling out with someone, or you might not be feeling valued or supported or recognized from a male energy in your life. Not getting what you want, it seems. Theme of the month, Four of Swords here reversed. A lot of anxious energy when the Four of Swords is reversed. You should be relaxing, but instead you're ruminating. The Chariot reversed. This is a halt to a situation. The Chariot is usually forward thinking, forward momentum. The Chariot also does represent cars, travels, and moving, in my opinion. Also the sign of Cancer. When it is reversed, something is at a pause, at a yellow light. You're waiting to see how something will play out before you move forward. To me, it's like a pit stop. It's like a gas station. It's a gas station trip on a long road trip. You're like waiting. You know you still have to go forward, but you're like, well, how much gas do I need to put in? Am I still on the right best route? Is how I look at the Chariot reversed. Next to Ten of Swords, which is endings. We do have that divorce certificate here. Ending, defeat, betrayal. don't, you know, the older I get or the more I work with tarot, the more I don't necessarily look at the Ten of Swords like, you know. I really start to look at the Ten of Swords differently than how I did maybe a couple years ago. I used to see the Ten of Swords and I'd just be like, oh, fuck. But in my experience now over the years, the Ten of Swords can come up for any situation. It can come up when you're to reveal that you're done with a situation within your relationship. And it may be not necessarily the relationship itself. It may be that you are feeling defeated. You are feeling betrayed. Maybe not necessarily that the relationship itself ends. Again, it's just like you're just exhausted and done with a circumstance or situation or relationship. Three of Pentacles is here. Could be third-party energy, but the Three of Pentacles typically relates to teamwork, collaboration, working together, whether with one person or a group. Knight of Cups here, water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Typically, Knight of Cups is the lover boy, is the Romeo. When it's reversed, he's checked out. Ten of Wands here, busy bee. Okay, somebody's schedule is very full this month. So for me, here's what I'm looking at. Virgo, you're not getting the attention that you want in your relationship, and it's starting to make you feel resentful. It may even be making you think, is there someone else? Is there a third person? That's why you're really stressed. You're wondering if you feel silly for continuing this relationship. You're wondering if your person is really as busy as they say they are. Now, there is a possibility that maybe you're the one that's really busy. Maybe you're the one that wants to end the connection. Maybe you're realizing that maybe there's another person that could be better for you. If this is in relation to something outside of the relationship that's maybe affecting the relationship, this could be even like, imagine your partner, they don't get the recognition that they feel that they deserve in some way unexpectedly, and that emotional turmoil affects the relationship, maybe even making you feel more neglected. I still think there's this just energy in some way, shape, or form where you're not getting the actual attention that you feel that you deserve or need or require this time. That is what is coming up for me. And I'm hearing, Spirit always knows the songs to play in my head. I'm feeling really unappreciated, taking my love for granted, babe. I think it's Danity Kane or Cherish. I don't know. I don't remember. One of those black girl groups. Yeah, there's an issue of time. There's an imbalance of quality time is really what I'm seeing as the root of this, and communication, of course. Now, I know last month I said you're not the problem. Now I don't know. Your problem may be, Virgo, that now you're not in this negative self-talk, but you are still very anxious and in your head about this relationship. So we jumped out of one pan. We jumped out of one skillet into another. Maybe if you're dating, maybe you might be feeling frustrated with the dating scene, feeling like maybe you're not happy with the quality of connections you're making, maybe feeling like everybody's too busy for you. That could be a limiting belief. And if that is happening, I think I would take a step back if you're just feeling like people aren't, because I'm very big on energy. If I was trying to date and just feeling like everybody just seems too busy for me or nobody seems like they want to be taking me out, I would take that as like an energetic message that like maybe I'm not in the right space to be dating, because I believe that if I'm in the right space, people would be fighting to take me out. Does that make sense? People would be eager to take me out. I don't know. And so what I'm saying is, if you feel like, the only reason why I'm saying this is because this Knight of Cups and this Ten of Wands, like there's a schedule issue with like a Romeo with a love interest. The reason why I'm saying this is like, if I felt like people were too busy for me, I would check in with myself. What about me am I projecting that makes people too busy for me? Because people always make time for what they want. Even if somebody really is busy and they can't commit to like an in-person experience, they always make a few minutes for people that they care about. Let's look at these oracle messages. We had wedding. That was the first one that came out. This situation involves marriage. You yourself could be married. This card also sometimes points to maybe meeting somebody at a wedding this month, or it also comes up as a confirmation. Sometimes the the card talks about like if you're worried about whether or not you will ever get married, like this card is confirmation that yes, it's in your energetic field. Trust. I think I want to read this message. This situation is calling you to have faith and then make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. I don't know how I feel about that here because I don't know your specific situation. So take that last message with a grain of salt. Let's read this message for trust. Okay. In response to your question, the romance angels ask you to trust that everything is exactly as it needs to be. Do not add fear to the situation, which will only create drama and negativity. Instead, the angels ask you to release your worries to them. Your present situation is here to bring you blessings and personal growth, leading to the beautiful romantic love you so deeply desire and deserve. As you follow the pathway you're currently on, trust that it's leading you in the right direction. Your faith uplifts your energy, which in turn attracts positive experiences and people, including your romantic partner. This truly is a situation where with faith, all things are possible. I want to talk about what it looks like to put your cares onto the angels or onto source or onto spirit. So I was thinking about something this morning while I was walking Sasha. There's a bill that I need to get paid. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know how I'm going to pay that bill. And I was like, that's not my problem. I kid you not, that was my immediate thought. I kid you not. And then I had to laugh at myself because I was like, Winnie, it actually in fact is your problem. And I was like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's source's problem. My only priority right now is to stay in alignment and stay open to receive. And that is just what it looks like. One way it could look like to put your cares and your worries onto source. So what that looks like in the relationship perspective of like, let's say you are worried that your partner might be cheating on you or stepping out. That's not my problem. You know what? I trust that if that's the situation, it will be revealed to me. You know, that would likely be my information or interpretation or guidance. Like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. That's not my problem. Even though your relationship is in fact your problem. It's not your problem. It's not your problem because you know and trust that if that is the truth, that information will be revealed to you at the right time. You know? But again, back to the message, don't infuse a negativity into the situation, because if you give something like that too much attention, I just know he's cheating. I just know. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to manifest him falling in love with his assistant. Bitch, don't do that. Instead, you know how you fix that? You focus on yourself. You infuse yourself with positive affirmations. You listen to subliminal music that affirms your beauty, you're wealthy, you're rich. You are so alone. There's a song by Cutie. You know I love Cutie Meditations. One of the songs is, I am irresistible. Ooh, yeah. I am the goddess. I am the prize. I am always the number one priority. Ooh. Like, okay. Obviously that doesn't sound good, but but guess what be on my head and repeat? I am irresistible. Ooh, yeah. Like, I really should find the right notes to this song, but because it's just like, it's not so high because I can go that high. It's just like one of those weird, like, it's like a chest throaty, it's like a throaty head voice kind of thing. That's, anyway, whatever. I am the goddess. I am the prize. I am always the number one priority. Okay? Let that be the affirmation. That's what you need to be focusing on, bitch. Don't be focusing on, oh my God, is he talking about the bitch? No. I am always the number one priority. Let that be played out in your life. Okay? Okay? And again, if that is his truth, it will be revealed to you. Because you are affirming a reality that can only present men being obsessed with you. Always princess treatment. In fact, you're unaligned with infidelity, so that can't even reach you. I want to live in a reality where even if I was concerned that my partner was, even if I was briefly concerned that my partner was cheating on me because their schedule was off, I want it to be because they were so busy planning a surprise birthday party for me. You know, I'm over here, like, that is a reality I want to live in, where I'm so divinely attuned to best case scenario and my partner being so obsessed with me that even if I have a whiff of worry, is a smidge of worry, it actually isn't even real and doesn't matter because I've exerted and put out so much energy towards affirming a beautiful and wondrous relationship that if something ever starts to look off, it's only because they're doing something to surprise me. Okay, like, imagine. I hope that's helpful. Virgo, let's move on to your career and finances. You guys know I always balance a healthy level of delusion with taking people for what they are and who they are and what they say. Okay? We have to have a healthy balance of delusion. Healthy balance. Back of the deck energy is the sun. I think at one point you were happy in your love life, but now you're just starting to feel confused. All right. Career and finances. Queen of Swords reversed again, repeating card. I want you to write that down. Six of Wands again, repeating card. I want you to write that down. And when I say these things, these are cards I want you to look into, Virgo. Okay, I want you to research and meditate on these cards. Meditate on tarot cards. I started to say like scripture and that felt a little icky, but that's really what I mean to say. Meditate on the meaning of scripture. You know how people will like take a scripture, Bible verse, and they want to read it in different translations? I do the same thing with tarot cards. I read it in my textbook. I read it on different web interpretations. Like I look for different ways that other people have interpreted this card to gain meaning. And you got to be careful to not look for a meaning that you want to see. Really lean into trying to understand the card versus trying to find a definition that fits what you want to hear. Does that make sense? Okay. What do you have for Virgo, please, for the month of June? Get one more for Virgo. Definitely a turning point for you, Virgo, for sure, this month in your career and finances. Yeah. Okay. What to expect? Three of Swords, Page of Cups. Page of Cups is creative. They're a surprise. Water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They're a dreamer for sure. They can believe anything is possible. Three of Swords here, heartbreak, sorrow. It could be that a painful experience happens in relation to a water sign in your life, or maybe someone young and immature. I'm getting a heartbreak, like somebody maybe young is getting heartbroken, and that might affect you financially because, like, let's say you're a parent, maybe one of your kids are heartbroken and they move back home, they break up with their boyfriend. That's coming through briefly. This could be a message that you are, I'm sorry for the noise outside. This could be a message that you are starting to feel creative after a period of heartbreak or sorrow. You're starting to feel and embrace possibilities. This truck is still out. It's like right in front of my building. You could even be like somebody who's taking their pain and turning it into art, like very Taylor Swift energy of like, I'm hearing, you're on the phone with your girlfriend, she's upset, she's going on about something that you said, but she doesn't know your story like I do. Like, it's very, I don't even know if those are all the right lyrics, but it's kind of like that. Like you're turning your heartbreak into art. You're making something out of you're turning your pain into art or into something creative. You're using it. This could also be that possibly something that you were dreaming for or creative project that you wanted to happen doesn't take off the way you wanted to. Maybe get shot down. There's a lot of different interpretations there. The unexpected. The Emperor and the Queen of Swords reversed. The Emperor is father figure energy. Could be also in relation to an Aries. Queen of Swords. Here we are again. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Did I say write the Queen of Swords down? Research that card. Typically upright, Queen of Swords is very smart, educated, perceptive. Typically upright, the Emperor is very decisive, directive, in control, and is a leader, is very masculine. Reverse also represents fatherhood, Emperor. To me, this represents, with both of these cards being reversed, a clash between two authority figures. The Emperor being a decision maker and wanting to do something their way. Could be masculine or feminine. A lot of times people interpret an Emperor as the boss. Like could be your supervisor. The Queen of Swords, there's somebody, most likely you or someone else, who doesn't want to have to bend to them, doesn't like their ideas, doesn't think that they're doing a good job. There's somebody here that you don't like working with unexpectedly this month. You don't like their approach. Maybe you feel like they're too harsh, maybe too brash, maybe too direct. A lot of times the Emperor is very similar to the King of Swords reverse, where they're really cutthroat with their words. They're considered a tyrant. Theme of the month, Five of Pentacles. Financial need. Six of Wands, abundance, success, victory, achievement. Three of Cups, community, gathering, coming together. Maybe friends and family, siblings as well. Hangman reverse, detaching from a situation, letting go. Finally coming out of a period of where you felt like you were stalling or felt like you were in a holding pattern. Six of Swords reverse oftentimes represents unfinished business, needing to tie up loose ends, or maybe you're resisting change, resisting moving on. But we do have the Temperance here, which represents balance, patience, and compromise. Now, to me, this looks more positive than anything, especially with what we have with your Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Cups, 10 of Pentacles in your monthly forecast. It feels like you're having a sort of win after a period of financial constraint, okay? There's something worth celebrating with your friends and family. You're finally letting go of maybe a difficult period of or maybe even feeling like it was hard for you to move forward with the Six of Swords. Maybe you've been wanting to transition for a long time and you're finally getting to a place where you're seeing some balance restored in your life. I want to talk about that for a second because the Justice card is here. But I'm seeing that specifically because of balance in the scales. Even though the Justice isn't here, the Temperance can be closely related and tied to balance. Something in your life needs to be brought into alignment. Your career may be in law, such as police, military, and courts, or the criminal justice. Be sure to be honest and ethical in money matters, or you'll face the consequences. The Justice card could also represent getting what you deserve, getting like karma, dealing with the legal system in some way. We've got Beauty that came out first. Embrace your unique style and own it. Let the world see who you really are. Consider careers doing hair, jewelry, clothing, or any job that enhances others' beauty. Your inner world must match your outer world for things to change. Work hard in silence. Work smart. Are you making it harder than it has to be? Sometimes the solutions are that simple. Perhaps it's time to clean house personally and professionally to start with a clean palette. Stick to basic needs when it comes to spending and put some money aside. Lastly, growing up. It's time to step into your own power and stop engaging in childish qualities. Don't rely on others to help you and care for you. This mess is yours to clean up. Avoid depending on someone else's income. You have all the skills to make your own. You take those messages how you need to. Don't be afraid to rewind, okay? We have financial constraints. I told you I didn't know what card it was. I didn't know. And I had a feeling. I was like, watch you have the financial constraints card because of 5 of Pentacles. I was like, let me just know. Okay, look. Let me look at it. Let me look at the message. 13. Here we go. But you're coming out of it, I feel like. Restrictions concerning money. This card shows an old-fashioned safe with little money, but lots of cobwebs and dust. Money may be tight at this time, so rein in your spending and be circumspect about, is that how you say that? Circumspect about the financial requirements in your life. This is not a time of indulgence, so be aware of what's really important and consciously choose your expenditures. There's a big difference between what you need and what you want. This card is telling you to take care of your needs and bide your time. Things will get better, but for now, be willing to live more conservatively and always value the money and the good things you already have. Yeah, Virgo, but I think that's you're feeling the majority of the month, but I do feel like you're going to have a win, babe. You're going to have a win. I'm not trying to gas you up. I mean, I am trying to gas you up because I want you to step into this energy and enjoy it when it comes through, but don't let this get you down. Financial constraints is the vibe of the month, but you are figuring out how to get out of your financial constraints. Does that make sense? All right, Virgo, I hope this was helpful. Drop some comments below. I love you so much. I'm working through a lot of signs, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, Virgo.